Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kelsey and Joanna show. I'm Joanna, and here's my best friend Kelsey, and she's just back from the States. And today I'm going to interview her about some of the quarantine period questions and her quarantine lives about last 14 days here in Korea, right?
Yes.
So, when did you fly back to Seoul?
I flew back to Seoul on, it was August 22nd, and then I got into Incheon on August 23rd, and then I had to quarantine for 14 days with no contact.
Okay,
So really I didn't technically get into Seoul until last Sunday.
Okay, we'll go through that part later. And so where did you flying back from? Colorado?
I flew from Denver, Colorado by way of Seattle. Yes.
Okay, so how's the people there like? Are they wearing masks? Are they aware of this situation here? I can count this part out if you.
Oh, sure. No. I think the American response is a little different than Korea. We have a little bit more of an I mentality as opposed to a we mentality. So a lot of people feel like masks are infringing on their rights, but for the most part, a lot of people, at least in Colorado, were really mindful, and they wore masks and really cared about doing that outdoors as well as indoors. But a lot of things were closed in the States, like gyms and
same here,
coffee shops, museums, things like that.
How was the airport in the States like?
In the States, it was very busy because people are still traveling domestically within the States. And even though they say it's a requirement to wear a mask at the airport, there's still a lot of people that weren't following that.
Are they giving you a pre-COVID test before you came back?
No. I think it depends on where you're flying to. Into Korea, they knew that they would be testing us when we went to quarantine ourselves or went to quarantine, government mandating quarantine. So they didn't require a test. But I had read in some places that they wanted a doctor note that said that you don't have symptoms. And so I went to my doctor and he wrote a note for me, but I didn't even have to use it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, interesting to hear that. So, and how was the flight like? It was like 12 hours flight, right?
It's 12 hours. So
are they busy? The seats all taken? Or
no.
Spacious?
In fact, I had a long talk with one of the flight attendants about that. I flew Delta, which is the same company as Korean Air. Yeah, she. I wish it was a he. No, she was wonderful.
Okay.
We talked a lot about how they make money right now, and they do it through cargo. So shipping cargo from one country to the next. But out of 300 seats on that flight, only 40 people were on it.
40 people. So you're actually sleeping.
I got the whole middle row of four all to myself. I got to sleep. It was like I had first class, but I didn't have to pay for first class. It was awesome.
Sounds great.
It was.
It sounds like a happy 12-hour flight, right?
It was. It was a good 12-hour flight.
So when was the time when you arrived in Incheon?
I got in about 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
4 p.m. in the afternoon. And when was the time when you totally getting out of the airport?
Wow. So they make you answer a bunch of questionnaires, and you have to go through a verification process of where you're staying and your visa. And so by the time I got from arriving at the airport to the hotel, my actual hotel room, it was 8 o'clock at night.
So it took like 4 hours.
It took about 4 hours to get through the airport and get divided up into what bus was taking me to what hotel.
So can you give us more little bit detailed information? Was how was it like when you arrived, and how was the immigration checking process, and what kind of bus does it provide you to pick up you to the hotel?
Sure.
Yeah.
So.
Let me hold this for you.
Oh, okay. No. So when you get to the airport, and if you are on a long-term visa. So not a tourist waiver like me, but when you're on a long-term visa, you have to have a place of residence that you're going to quarantine at, and you have to have permission from whoever the owner of that residence is. So they call that person to verify you are who you say you are. Now for me, because I was going to go through quarantine, they gave me this red it was like a red sort of sign to wear. I called it a scarlet letter because you kind of feel now everybody knows that you're having to go to government quarantine. But they walk you outside and then they sit you over in an area with other people with colored signs on.
Yes.
And then they
looks like a little bit weird,
it
right?
It felt strange. I felt like I was about to. I wasn't sure where I was going to be taken. You can't choose your hotel.
You can't choose your hotel.
No.
But
So
do you know how they divide it? How they classify you and
I feel like
put you into different groups?
They look at why you're coming there and where you're planning on staying after. And so for me, I'm going to be a student at Iwa University. And so that's in Sinchon Mapogu.
Congratulations.
It's her alma mater. She's very excited. I'm excited that I'm going to be going to school there. But because of that, they took me to one in Myeongdong, which isn't too far. And they divide us onto buses. We get on the bus, they drive us to the hotel, and then we go through this whole process in the lobby where they give us a COVID test. We pay for it because you have to pay for your government. It was 1,680,000 won, which is about $1,500, $1,480 for 14 days. And that's 14 days. That's 3 meals a day. That's all your bottled water. They take out your trash every day, which is hazardous until they can prove that you don't have COVID. Yeah, it was an interesting experience. You cannot leave the room, so you can't walk the hallway, you can't go outside, so you are literally stuck in a room for
So how was
2 weeks straight.
How was the room like?
I feel fortunate. I was at this, I think called the Splazer. It was like a 4-star hotel that they basically converted into a place that's nothing but quarantined people. So
you are basically cannot see any human being
right.
during 14 days?
Exactly.
Oh.
You hear the people shuffling out in the hallway when they're delivering meals and picking things up, but they do overhead pages to let you know everything that's going on.
Okay.
So they would say, hey, your meal is outside of your door. Please open your door and get your meal out of the basket that's next to the door. Enjoy. And then they did that 3 times a day. And so you had like an overhead voice, kind of like Hunger Games.
Right.
It was a weird feeling. It felt very
weird.
isolated.
Yeah. And how do they take out the trash? Like they give you some.
They give you these
containers or plastic bags to.
It's a large orange. A large orange hazardous waste bag, and you collect your 3 meals and put it all in there. You don't divide it, you don't recycle it. They do it later.
Okay.
They want to make sure that you don't have COVID, so I'm pretty sure that they take it and dispose of it in their own healthful way. Yeah.
I saw it in some video that you have to disinfect the plastic bag yourself before you handle it to the cleaning lady, right?
They give you like a spray, and you have to spray it, and then you close the bag up and then put it outside the door.
Any other interesting findings you've experienced in the hotel, or any interesting things you've experienced in the last 14 days?
No,
just in your room.
I mean, I did a lot of Netflix. I brought my workout bands, and so I worked out and did some home workouts, since that seems to be the thing with quarantine. Watched a lot of TV, studied some Korean. I try to keep myself busy and did a lot of phone calls, Zoom calls with my family back home and friends. But it was a good time to relax, and it was nice I didn't have to cook. I hear when people quarantine at home on their own, they have to divide all of their trash and keep it for 14 days, whereas we got to get rid of it every morning, which was nice.
So you're satisfied with the hotel meal, right?
Yeah. The meals were okay. Lots
Korean style or Western style?
Mostly Korean. Everything had kimchi, and it was. I didn't get sick of it because I like Korean food, but I also brought some supplements with me. I brought some protein shakes and some meat bars from home, just to be sure I was getting some greens and things, because I wasn't sure what they were going to have to eat. It's kind of like when you go to a Korean convenience store and you get the black trays with the different foods. Yeah. It was like that 3 times a day.
So you're getting used to the Korean kimchi.
Yes.
I figure out it's your second time to Korea, so that's why you're.
Kimchi. I was so excited there was kimchi. I love kimchi.
Yeah. Okay, sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Would I want to go through this again? No. I would not want to go through this again. So come with a long-term visa.
Definitely not. And how was your last day when you are leaving the quarantine hotel. Could you give us more information about that?
Let's see. So 2 nights before, they give you a sheet of paper. And remember, every hotel's different. Some hotels allow you can have things delivered from Coupang or shuttle or like food services or friends. But mine would not allow it because of I think just the way it was kind of tucked inside an area. But they give you a piece of paper and they ask how you're going to leave. You can go by personal car, so I could have a friend come get me.
Yes.
Or I had to take their shuttle to Seoul Station and then go from there. I luckily had a friend that could come pick me up, but if you went to Seoul Station and then just took a taxi from there, that's what I would have done at Joanna's suggestion. But you turn that in 2 days before, and then they give you one more piece of paper your last night that says, please make sure you're down there at 7 and have your passport. And I thought they were going to test me again, but they didn't. So I think
just one test,
I think I was negative when I got there. That's why they kept me there. And then for 14 days I quarantined, and then I was good to go.
It used to be like twice of the COVID test.
They have you download an app, and every morning they give you a thermometer, by the way. So you take your temperature every day, and they remind you to turn it in, and you just put that you have no symptoms, and you put what your temperature is. And then at the end of the 14 days, that app kind of gives you a message that says you have completed the 14 days, you can delete the app.
You can go now?
I'm like, later. Although I did make sure and take a screenshot of that just in case someone came on me, and I would tell them, no, I completed 14 days.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And now you're seeing
Very
the beautiful sunshine and enjoying the Han River's waves. Yeah.
The reason we're out here right now with this breeze is because Joanna brought me to the Han River to get me outside. So it's been wonderful.
Thank you for coming with me. And
it's been a lovely day.
Yes. Congratulations for your new school, and
thank you.
Congratulations for you finish your quarantine.
Yeah.
That's a great
Finally.
job. Yeah. Enjoy
Thank you very
Korea.
much.
We'll see you soon.
Yep.
So stereotype interview. Okay. Thank you, Kelsey.